Hello, everybody. Good morning. Thank you so much for the invitation. It's beautiful to see you all here. Thanks so much for the opportunity. For me to feel safe, or better said, security means, first of all, beyond all, historical justice. It's the acknowledgement of the unpayable debt that colonization have left and that impregnates every single pore of our societies. Is it the construction of colonial continuities, like the capitalization of nature, militarization of border and states, monoculture, heterosis normativity, and many others? Security for me, what makes me safe, as you asked, is reconciliation. Reconciliation over the bases that go beyond temporality and rationality, is the preservation of the territory, the preservation of territory body, and the opportunity to that everybody could achieve the best versions of themselves.
Well, for sharing so beautifully all that was going on in my head. So I'm just going to add to the lovely insights that you've given us. A famous education philosopher in India, J. Krishnamurti, said, "It is not a marker of good health to be well adjusted to an inherently sick society." And that's what, for me, the idea of safety is mental well-being entrenched in the ethos of interdependence. And I feel that in the world that we live in, the quality of discourse is binary, which makes me feel very insecure. And for security to prevail for me, I think it's the acknowledgement of the interbeing, not only from an anthropocentric point of view, which is the Western colonized master's point of view, that interbeing is a transactional relationship, but interbeing is a circular relationship. And I think what makes me feel safest in the times of COVID is networks and relationships. And what the current crisis in Delhi at least has shown is that there is beauty in being inch wide and mile deep, and then be networks of inch mild and mile deep clusters, you know. And that is what we learn from nature. So much like mushrooms, which can go to fecund places and transform that space, I feel that safety is actually this, you know, to lend into Buddhism, this Sangha Mitra, or the collection of friends, which can actually help you cope with crisis, internal and external, and also give an avenue for the empathic tsunami that one feels when faced by injustices. And what do you do with it? How do you be proactive and turn empathy into compassion and action? It's not possible without a cluster of friendship, a cluster of voices coming together in high levels of discourse. And so for me, security is interbeing, an ethos of interbeing, and a collective which is interested in quality discourse beyond binaries. Thank you.
What makes me secure and feel safe individually and collectively is to live in a disarmed world, free from colonialism, free from occupation, free from the Israeli apartheid regime. You know, as militarization is circulating me and my people, I'm a Palestinian woman surrounded with all means of militarism. Armed Israeli checkpoints, armed Israeli soldiers at checkpoints who are licensed to kill in cold blood, armed settlers who are living in the illegal settlements, raiding villages night and day, burning olive trees, stealing crops, backed up by the Israeli soldiers. Militarism is sleeping in my bed, kicking me out of my land, my home, accompanying me in every step of life. I will feel secure when I live in peace at home, in the street, at the office, when I can travel freely with my people control on the borders, on the Palestinian borders, when I enjoy freedom in all aspects of life. My needs for a decent life in dignity, free from fear. I need to live a normal life, free of violence on all levels, political, social, and cultural. As a Palestinian woman, nothing can make me happy more than a just and viable peace that would enable me to live in solidarity with my friends and neighbors. achieving internal peace, which means reconciliation, internal reconciliation. As a Palestinian writer and poet, I will be really happy when I can write about beauty, nature, music, fine arts, name it, and not about genocide, war crimes, and ethnic cleansing. Nothing can make me happy more than living in a society of justice, liberties, and the rule of law.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I do echo what the other voices have spoken about, and they do affect me as well, security-wise. I mean, healing from the past of colonialism. Otherwise, I would sum up my African circumstances as follows: that I know my people and myself feel safe or secure when the environment surrounding us, which includes that of neighboring countries such as Ethiopia, Somalia, Sudan, the DRC, the Congo, Mali, among others, ensures the physical and emotional safety of all women, men, children, the vulnerable. And in this case, the vulnerable include the elderly, those who are ill, those who you'd consider weak, depending on which circumstance, those who are enabled differently. Now the connotation has changed. It's no longer the disabled, but it's enabled differently, with no discrimination on the basis of wealth, status, creed, sex, race, or political affiliation. I feel that these are the issues that are affecting my well-being and that of my fellow Africans, whether being abroad in the diaspora where we feel safe, the fact that we still have family back at home, or the fact that you still have part of your identity in crisis because your Africa, where you come from, still redefines who you are. And if you feel there's an environment that's shaken or insecure, like what's happening in Tigray, it affects you. You feel for the women there, those who are being raped by the soldiers. You feel for the man whose wife was pregnant and he could not do anything about it. He could not take her to a clinic because of the war-raging conflict in Tigray. You feel for him as well because he's also insecure. He's insecure because his wife is in a difficult situation. That for me is an issue. Thank you very much.